Hey, Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. In decoding this South Carolina shooting, we have found some numbers coded very heavily, especially 74. Not to be redundant, I'm going to skip over the 74s. I've talked about them in every single video I've made this far. What I want to focus on in this video is the number 106, which was a number I spotted right away with the fire truck. Let me find that post, Truth Seeker. Hold on here. Bear with me one second. In CNN's initial coverage of the South Carolina church shooting, June 17th, in the background, a fire truck was moving back and forth. And for those of you who've never seen this work before, this might sound like lunacy to you that something could be orchestrated so well. But what I'm here to tell you is it truly is. And what I'm about to say is this fire truck that has a number 106 on the side of it, can you make that out? And it also has a Tea Party flag, the Don't Tread on Me flag right here. You can watch my very first video, the one that now has nearly 30,000 views. It's my most viewed video yet. I wish it had a lot more, but I'm happy that the work is getting out there. Anyhow, in that video, I brought up this number and that Don't Tread on Me flag. Now, I would like to show you something. The Don't Tread on Me flag belongs to the Tea Party right now, and notice that Tea Party has a simple English gematria of 106, just like the number on the side of the fire truck, 106. And there's a lot more than that, True Seeker. We're going to go through it. There's the 106 up a little bit closer. Anyhow, in my most recent video on the South Carolina shooting, I showed how the movie that came out March 20th, 3/20, the anniversary of the beginning of the most recent Iraq war, 3/20/83, a movie release. 3 plus 20 plus 83 equals 106. It's about a nuclear bomb going off in Charleston Harbor. 3/20/83. The movie's called Special Bulletin. I'll write it out for you for those of you who are visual. Special Bulletin. You can stream it on YouTube, the whole movie. Notice that the gematria of nuclear bomb, Truth Seeker, is 106. For those of you who say that this work is absurd, I'm just finding random patterns, I beg for you to think deeper. Here we have a fire truck with number 106 on it with a Tea Party flag, which seems very random to be responding to this church shooting. If anybody's ever been to a Tea Party event, there's not typically very many black people there. And for good reason. Truth Seeker. Also, one more point about this number 106. In the recent Philadelphia train crash, the train was said to be going 106 miles per hour, and the front engine was number 601, the reverse of 106. Think about that. That train crash, which I've done videos on, is all coded with the number 98. In this shooting, it comes 98 days before the Pope's visit, which the Philadelphia train crash is also connected to. The train crash came 222 days before the Pope's visit. This comes 98 days before the Pope's visit. In this story, 98's been coded throughout too. Timberland. The suspect was said to be wearing Timberland boots. Timberland equals 98. A headline came out yesterday about a man in Carolina who feels that he's been a boy his whole life. I'll show you that story. The headlines there code out to 98. Just this coding over and over. This is what our media truly does. But Truth Seeker, what's sadder than this is that this recent church shooting might be the worst church tragedy story, real or not, since the 16th Street Baptist Church bombing of September 15th, 1963. Truth Seeker, this is another fair way to get a date numerology. 9 plus 15 for the month and day. And then you do the year in two parts. 19 plus 63. 9 plus 15 is 24. Plus 19 is 43. Plus 63 is 106. So the date of this church bombing has a numerology of 106. And remember, the word church has a gematria of 61, made up of these same numbers if you drop the 0. What a fellow truth seeker shared with me since I did my last post is he was reading up on the Hebrew alphabets, and in their language, like many others, they read from right to left. And gematria is an important part of this alphabet. It is openly known. And the number 106 means the exact same thing as 61. So think about that. A church bombing on a date numerology with 106 and it meaning the same thing as 61 in this study. And the word church sums to 61. In the King James Version of the Bible, the only book that has symmetry with the number of verses is the 61st book. It has 61 verses. In Major League Baseball, the home run record was set in 61 with 61 home runs. It has since been broken. So again, Truth Seeker, Charleston has had this number on it throughout history. This church shooting was in Birmingham, Alabama, where Martin Luther King was jailed. The church bombing, Truth Seeker, there's more things to it, this 16th Street Baptist Church. Look at the coordinates, Truth Seeker. On the 33rd parallel by the 86th meridian west. And with regards to the number 86, all of these words sum to 86, each one. Symbol equals 86. Triangle equals 86. Pyramid equals 86. So does republic. And so does a term used for us sometimes, a citizen. 86. This is the church bombing with the 106 numerology, 16th Street Baptist Church. Very interesting coordinates. The time, 1022, is interesting as well. 10 plus 22 equals 32. I call that the America number. America equals 32. The date of the Declaration of Independence, this date has a numerology of 32. UK in simple English equals 32. So the America number, maybe quite not appropriate. Maybe the UK number. Because really the United States is just like a military arm of the UK world power structure, whatever you want to call it. The different date numerologies for this church date bombing on September 15th, 1963 that killed 4 women with the 106 connection. It also has a connection to the number 34. The word murder has a gematria of 34. And it has a connection to the number 43. The word massacre equals 43. In this Charleston shooting, the number 43 is very connected. The killer's birthday is April 3rd, the 93rd day of the year. The senator who died is named Pinckney. A weird spelling. His name gematria is 43. It happened in Charleston with a gematria of 43. The word massacre equals 43. And with regards to this Pinckney, he died 43 days before turning 42 years old. He was 43 days from being 42. The date also has a connection to the number 87. And Truth Seeker, while I cannot tell you what 87 means, I can tell you it is a number of significance. A little side story, just to be a little bit tangential. Who remembers the first black president? And I'm saying that with quotes in the air. They used to call Clinton the first black president. Do you recall this? His father was found dead on the side of the road, traveling from Chicago, where Hillary Clinton's from, back to his home state of Arkansas. And the date he died on has numerology connections to 33 and 87. That's interesting because the name Clinton equals 33 the small way and 87 the big way. And he was not born Bill Clinton. He was born Bill Blythe. His father, who was found dead on the side of the road on this date, his name was Blythe. But then his mother remarried into this Clinton family, giving him the name. And I traced this back once upon a time to see where the name Clinton comes from, and it comes from New York. The original governors of New York were Clinton. So I tell this story just because I'm aware that this number has significance. That said, I don't necessarily know what it means. I can tell you the reverse of that is the speed that a record spins at, 78 revolutions per minute. Cycles and circles. So, Truth Seeker, it was at the 16th Street Baptist Church. With regards to the number 16, only it and 90 when written out sum to 33. You find this number often coded into these things that provoke the race war with a gematria of 33. Baptist has a gematria of 33, which is very important to Christianity. You think about Jesus being crucified at 33. The first book of the Bible, Genesis, has a gematria of 33. And with regards to race war, Truth Seeker, KKK, K is the 11th letter. 11 times 3, 33. Little typo here, that E's a mistake. It still sums to 30 for Ku Klux Klan. I was looking at the details of the victims, Truth Seeker, and it makes me wonder. I mean, this is a different era. Just like in the recent church shooting, I can't say for sure if anyone died. In the recent church shooting, I lean towards the fact that no one died because some of the names have been so coded, which I've revealed in other posts. When I look through the names in this shooting, the numbers are suspicious, but they don't confirm anything. It's possible that 4 women did die. It's not beyond me to think that the people who are behind this sick, purposeful, organized events to provoke hate through media, it's not beyond my comprehension that they would really kill people to do this. So I could see them doing it. It just seems that their pattern in recent history, at least, is that they fake the incident to provoke the story anyhow. So I could see how the pattern would carry on through time as well. You know, names such as Cynthia Wesley make me wonder. That gematria of 61 at a church bombing. But, you know, it's possible for a name to have that name gematria. If you decode your name, it might sum to 61. That's a good way to do the litmus test. Also, Truth Seeker, I noticed something though in this story because reading about it, the phrase white supremacist was used much. And white supremacist has this gematria of 74, which we find coded all over the recent church shooting in Charleston, South Carolina, coming 74 days after the Walter Scott shooting. Truth Seeker, I also just want to make a point. Throughout my video blog, I've received the most criticism for what I assert about sports. I've been saying for people to pay attention to sports because the same numbers that are used in the major events in sports are the same ones you find coded into the stories of the time. Here is Max Scherzer of the Nationals. Nationals equals 33, Truth Seeker. Throwing a no-hitter against the Pirates. In the game, he has 16 strikeouts with 106 pitches. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Remember how 16 equals 33, just like Nationals. So does the word pirate. He was playing the Pirates. And the date numerology is 61, Truth Seeker. Last year, I think it was Lincecum that threw a no-hitter with 113 pitches, and I thought that might be part of the hoax. But I thought, oh my goodness, could they be that good to hit 113 like that? Well, since decoding the Giants' no-hitter earlier this year hoax by their rookie pitcher Heston, and then looking at this Scherzer's, which looks equally as hoaxalicious, I think people need to take a second thought about what I'm presenting in sports. Even if you don't like sports, that's not the reason I present it. I present it for the same reason I decode the news. I hate the news. I don't decode this because I like the news. I decode it because I want people to see the truth of what's going on in this world, wasting their money on consumer sports that are rigged and serve the purpose of a gang of assholes who treat us like, I'll let you fill in the blank. When he first threw the no-hitter, I saw this headline right away with the 115, and that also gives me the creeps. The phrase killing equals 115. And right now we're living out daily stories of unnecessary killings, often having to do with race. And then this story has all the other coding that syncs up with the recent church shooting. And they're called the Nationals. The Nationals. Again, if you didn't see my one post, Truth Seeker, stream this movie. Special bulletin. It's broadcast as if you're watching the news. Charleston, the city, gets nuked. It came out on the anniversary date of the Iraq War, which began 555 days after September 11th, 555. 20 years later, that Iraq War began, March 20th, 2003. But anyway, the date numerology here is 106, just like the gematria of nuclear bomb. And just like the Meridian, the Gulf of Tonkin incident happened on, which started the Vietnam War and is now an admitted hoax by our own government. Robert McNamara, the Secretary of Defense at the time, has come out and said, yeah, it was all faulty intelligence. We started the war on bogus information. Just like we started the Iraq War on bogus information, which again has the anniversary date of this movie as well. Also, True Seeker, you might think this is loopy, but if you pay attention to the ratings that are put before your eyes on Rotten Tomatoes, all these things, they often connect with the titles, the release dates. In this case, 51 is the number of conspiracy. Conspiracy equals 51. And think about Area 51. Area 51. 47th state, New Mexico, 47 UFO crash. UFO has a gematria of 42, first UFO spotted in Washington state. The 42nd state, next to Mount Rainier. Rainier has a gematria of 47. I'm just saying this to show you how they code these numbers over and over and put them on all sorts of things. And this detail about the victims here, Truth Seeker, it's all coded, but what I'm skipping ahead to is just how they do things like this. They're talking about a man named DePayne Middleton Doctor, which is a very suspicious sounding name. And they put in parentheses, a warm and enthusiastic leader. A warm and enthusiastic leader sums to 106, with the S exception 115, two numbers we already talked about in this video. And his name, DePayne Middleton Doctor, equals 106. And then the description of him is about how he's a warm and enthusiastic leader, 106. Again, this is the same shooting where the fire truck's outside, number 106 with the Tea Party flag, when in gematria, Tea Party equals 106. Right now on the video I did, people are writing that I am a lunatic for saying these numbers could possibly mean anything. And what's sad is I already know that so many people react that way. You know? That's how I got to posting these videos on YouTube, because I found out how many people in my own life just thought it was so loony to think that anything like this could possibly be being done. But then you look deeper, you see that the flag's there for a reason, the number's there for a reason. It's all syncing up. All the same numbers on this incident as the Philadelphia train crash, as the Alps plane crash, all syncing up with Lupercalia. If this is the first video of mine you've seen, you got to go watch the other ones. And then you'll see how they keep doing the same things over and over and over. Also, True Secret, one last point to that flag, don't tread on me. The don't tread on me flag for the Tea Party. Notice how it sums to 509 in Jewish gematria, and 5959 are numbers coded all over black Americans throughout history. The word Negro itself equals 59. Motown Records came out in 59. This 888, we saw it a lot in the Philadelphia train crash, just like the pilot's name, Brandon Bostian, or the engineer. So that's pretty much the message, Truth Seeker. Another thing about this 106 number, check out the word prophecy in gematria. That's an interesting word, isn't it? Divine plan. Old Christopher Columbus, CC 33. Somehow we celebrate the holiday of a man who boasted about killing innocents and raping women. And we celebrate his holiday in October, the only month with 33 gematria. So there it is, True Seeker. We learned something new together. 106 was a mystery number to me up until this recent church shooting. Hope you learned something new. Take care.